Hey everybody, I'm Ken Simpson. I'm a volunteer with the Frank Lloyd Wright Trust. I'm a contributor to the Unity Temple Restoration Foundation blog, and I have done tours for a number of years here at Unity Temple, as well as tours throughout the neighborhood here in Oak Park, and I'm really thrilled and excited to be here in this building today that I've not been able to be in for, 14 or 15 months, so it's exciting for me, and so hopefully soon all of you can come and join us here when things reopen, but not reopened yet, so stay tuned for announcements. So July is the Unity Temple Restoration Foundation membership drive month, so there'll be a 10% discount on memberships. So if you're interested and want to support this wonderful building, that is definitely very much encouraged. So I'm really glad to be here today to talk about this building and take you in a space that I think it's not the most memorable space of the building. Certainly everybody remembers the beautiful light-filled sanctuary, and it certainly is an inspiring spot. But we'll talk about one of the spaces that lead you in there. And to put things in context, I think part of the magic about this building is just the context that it's in of the neighborhood of Oak Park, where you can start at the 1889 shingle-style house that Frank Lloyd Wright designed when he was 22 years old for himself, just a few blocks away, followed through the evolution of the remodeling, the expansion of that building for 20 years. And then see the Queen Anne early 1900 bootleg houses, take a walk down Forest Avenue and see the evolution of his style, of his aesthetic, past the, what I like to call the Tudor, Prairie, Mayan fusion of the Nathan Moore house, the beautiful Hertley house, the Beachy house, the Hills de Caro, Thomas house, and Laura Gale, that little gem. So all those interesting things as you walk towards Unity Temple and see the culmination of Wright's 20-year career in Oak Park. That certainly went on to much more things and spectacular things after leaving Oak Park. But Unity Temple, completed in 1909, certainly shows you this masterpiece of his style at that period in time. So we're here in the foyer, in the reception hall, in the entryway of Unity Temple, and a lot of talk about Wright's path of discovery. We don't see a door out on Lake Street. You have to make many turns, find your way, get elevated up one set of steps into the terrace. Outside the doors here, come through these Soji screen-like entrance doors into this fairly low ceiling reception hall. And the ceiling drops as you come towards the sanctuary, but you still don't see the sanctuary. These concealed doors here, you don't go in. You make your way to the left or right to one of the cloisters. So let's go over there now and take a look. So here we are in what Wright called the Cloisters. And ever since I started seeing this building, started giving tours here, I was always fascinated by that term that he used, cloisters. I think about cloistered nuns. What comes to my mind is this sheltered space, enclosed space, and within a monastery, a Spanish mission, a convent, typically a columned walkway, sheltered walkway, surrounding a light-filled courtyard. Well, that is what we have here in the cloisters. Again, Wright's using his compression effect here with this low ceiling, fairly dark, and giving you this space as I equated it to a cinematographer using the path of discovery, the compression and release to create this suspension, this drama in his buildings. So you come in here and you really just want to drop your voice to a whisper because it's so cozy, so compressed in here. But you look out and you do have that magical opening no supporting columns in this long horizontal space that gives you that glimpse of where you're going into the beautiful light-filled sanctuary. And as you look across there, to me, the pews, the rows of pews, represent the columns that you do typically see in a more conventional cloistered walkway around a courtyard. So you're getting that effect. You see the light streaming in. We've got a beautiful day here in Oak Park, amazingly. So even add to the spectacular light coming through that coffered skylighted ceiling of the sanctuary. So this just is a really interesting space, and when I give tours here, it's really the place where spend some time and really try and share with guests to the building what's happening here, why Wright used this kind of space to prepare you to enter the sanctuary and have that contrast of the rather dark, rather compressed space of the cloister before you take those few narrow steps up into the sanctuary. And as we say, you may come into the building as a group, as a family, but right when he takes you from the cloisters to the sanctuary, he puts in a narrow set of steps that essentially makes you take an individual journey up the steps and into the sanctuary. So let's go up there and finish the tour up in the sanctuary. So here we are. What an amazing contrast. Coming from the cloisters, getting a glimpse of this space, and you walk up, you're elevated into what Wright called this noble room, and your eyes are just drawn up. These long, slender wooden supports on the light fixtures, all the vertical wood trim, draw your eyes up into the coffered laylight, skylight of the ceiling, the ambers, the beautiful earth tones, and then the yellows and earth tones in here that just really light up this space and make it such an amazing space. So it's really a wonderful place to be, and I really think it's such an amazing example of Wright's creativity, of his genius, of the spaces he created, and we're so fortunate that the recent restoration really brought it back to Wright's vision of what it looked like when it was completed, and it's here for us to enjoy. So when Unity Temple reopens, I hope everyone gets a chance and comes and experiences it again. So don't forget, membership month. Check out the UTRF website. They're out there on all the social media, sharing information about the space, and I'm sure they'll be sharing the word when things do start to open up. And check out all the blogs. I've contributed a number of those blog posts, and a number of other people who really enjoy and know this space much more than I do have given their perspective. So I think you can learn something there and find something of interest.
Would you like to describe a couple of your blog posts that you have done, or the one that's coming out about the post office?
Sure, Heidi, sorry. Yeah, so some of the things that I find of interest here, one is not just the building and things like the cloisters, but again, the surrounding area. So we have this amazing contrast right across the street of this beautiful stone Gothic church with the beautiful rose window, the high bell tower. So you come in front of this building and you just have to look across the street to see a contrast of those architectural styles. So I've written one about that. That building also experienced a major fire and had to be rebuilt, like the original Unity Church of this congregation before Unity Temple was built. One about the Gale family will be coming out sometime in the next few months. Just the history of that family that was so prominent in both early days of Oak Park and in this Unitarian congregation. Actually sold the property to the congregation where this building is located. So that's, I think, an interesting story. And coming out soon is one about the neighbor on the west side of the building here, the beautiful Art Deco Oak Park post office. that was designed by an associate of Frank Lloyd Wright who worked with him in the Oak Park office and went on to have his own successful architectural career. So another contrast there. So we have Gothic, we have Art Deco, and we have the amazing Frank Lloyd Wright style right here at Kenilworth and Lake Street in Oak Park.
Another quick question from Michael Pfeiffer. Was there any furniture design for Unity Temple?
Hey, Michael. Good to hear from you. So, Wright did design some furniture, but because of the budget constraints, as the building was being completed, they did buy some, I guess I would say, off-the-shelf pews and a number of the pieces, and even a mural that was designed for Unity House. Those things were never executed, unfortunately, but certainly the building is furnished in what I would say is very compatible style that you wouldn't really think that it's not Frank Lloyd Wright design.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Ken, for all of your many, many contributions to Unity Temple Restoration Foundation and to Unity Temple itself. And as Ken mentioned, please consider becoming a member of UTRF if you aren't already. Our website is utrf.org/membership. And we look forward to many more of Ken's blog posts coming up as well.
All right, Heidi, thanks. Great to be here.